This is DRF, Race of the Day.
Hi everybody, Gentleman here with the DRF Race of the Day for Wednesday, September the 8th. It's race number 9 at Kentucky Downs. Let's throw up the field for the second division of the TVG Stakes. $400,000 is the purse. We're going 1 mile and 70 yards. This race is for horses that have not won a sweepstakes in 2021. You can download free Formulator Pass performances on the Race of the Day event page at DRF.com. Access them and handicap along with me. It is a big field of evenly matched horses. We throw up the Timeform US pace projector. You'd expect there to be some pace in a field of this size, but I'm not sure there's going to be a strong pace in this race. Snapper Sinclair is a horse that can be forward. He is a horse that does very, very well at Kentucky Downs. He is the likely favorite and the horse to beat in this race. I'm not sure he's going to make the lead in here. I think they would much rather have a target. And I think if the number 9, Bob and Jackie, wants the lead, Bob and Jackie's going to get the lead in here. Mr. Dumas, the 2 showed speed last time out at Colonial Downs. He is a horse that has done better work from off the pace. I think they want a target as well. I think Bob and Jackie makes the lead. And if Johnny Velazquez can slow down the pace, Bob and Jackie might be able to sprint on home at a pretty decent price. Strong Tide, the number 1, has shown some speed in the past. He was just overmatched in his most recent start. Draw a line through his performance in the Grade 1 Mr. D, formerly known as the Arlington Million. He was in against one of the better turf horses in the country in domestic spending, who ran second, just stymied by a lack of pace. Strong Tide was close to the pace. He just couldn't finish with those horses. Decent enough effort, 2 starts back. Occasionally pops a big race. 4 back in the Louisville handicap. He was in some minor traffic going 1.5 miles at Churchill Downs, only beaten 2 lengths by Arklow. Thought he galloped out very well after that race. He occasionally pops a good race, breaking from the inside post. I think he'll probably sit in the second flight or so, just being behind the leaders with a chance when they turn into that long straightaway. I think he's the kind of horse that might be best used on the bottom of single race exotic wagers. Mr. Dumas is the number 2. It looked like this horse was really coming into form last fall at Keeneland. Powerful victory. 2 starts back with a 100 buyer speed figure, striding away from the field in the last 1/8 of a mile. And then he went to the sidelines for a very long time. He returned recently at Colonial Downs, was very fresh off the layoff, demanding 9 furlongs off the bench. He showed good speed. He set a fast pace. He tired. The 3rd place finisher, Pixelate, came back to win a graded stakes race at Kentucky Downs. The Mint Millions the other day with a 96 buyer speed figure. So he faced a good field. He probably needed the race off the layoff. And I think he gained a tremendous amount of fitness going fast in his first start back. I think he's going to be tighter for this race. He's 15-1 on the morning line. And he's a horse that I would consider, certainly, in this affair. The 3 is Split the Wickets. Split the Wickets finished behind Mr. Dumas last time out at Colonial Downs. His race 2 starts back was okay. He also finished behind one of these horses. And that's kind of been the story for this horse. He hasn't won a race now in over a year since that 2 other than at Indiana Grand. The distance is very good for him, and he does have some tactical speed. Now it's all a question of whether he's good enough to win a race like this. Another horse like the number 1 that maybe I would use underneath. The 4 is Eran du Jaguarete, 5th last time out at Ellis Park, but the 4th place horse came back to win at Ellis, one of those Kentucky Downs Turf Preview Stakes races with a 90 buyer speed figure. This horse has not shown much early speed in his 2 starts in North America. He was a rock-solid horse in Brazil. I have a feeling he's going to take to this configuration at Kentucky Downs, but he looks like the horse that needs to take a step forward, and he's going to need a little bit of pace and trip help rallying from the back of the pack. The number 5 is Hemp Hooray. Hemp Hooray just ran 2 days ago. I'm assuming he's going to scratch in here. So we'll move on to the 6 Necker Island. Let's watch his race at Ellis Park. His turf debut on August the 8th. He was favored in this race, despite having never raced on turf before. He finishes a good 3rd. I'm just not sure that race, if he repeats it, will be good enough to win this. It was an 86 buyer speed figure. It was a solid pace he was chasing. He's another horse with good tactical speed. He's run some good races on the dirt. This horse, of course, ran in the Kentucky Derby in 2020. He has some ability and some class. Just not sure if this is the spot. Big field of quality turf horses. He still has to prove he can do it on the lawn. Majestic Eagle is the 7. Let's watch Majestic Eagle's last race at Del Mar for Neil Drysdale on July the 18th. Now, this was a race where he might have been pace compromised. He's going to finish second. He's in between horses. Neptune Storm controlled very moderate fractions on the lead. Now, there is a blanket finish for the second spot. Majestic Eagle was very game to be second. I don't know if I love the fact that it was a blanket finish, but I think he was up against adjusted from a pace standpoint. This horse might be racing himself back into shape. The race on Wednesday is going to be his 4th start of the year. He doesn't win very often, Majestic Eagle. He's 3 for 30, 8 second-place finishes, and he hasn't won a race since the Grade 3 American in 2019. But I think he's in sneaky good form right now. 5-1's a little bit light, and you might have to take that, because Joel Rosario, who has been on fire at Kentucky Downs, is listed to ride. Snapper Sinclair could very well be the horse to beat. He loves Kentucky Downs. Every time he shows up here, he just seems to puff up and run one of his biggest races. And he's going to have to here, because even though he's dropping a little bit in class, we haven't seen him since the end of April. He was in against Set Piece that afternoon at Churchill Downs, and boy, Set Piece has turned into a nice middle distance horse. He came back to win the Grade 2 Wise Dan with a 100 Beyer speed figure. Then was second in the Grade 1 Bernard Baruch, Grade 1 4-star Dave, at Saratoga, with a 101 Beyer speed figure. Snapper Sinclair certainly fits from these horses from a class standpoint. He has the tactical speed to sit just off of the pace. The distance is no issue for him, and he is a course lover. You're going to have to take a sure price on Snapper Sinclair. I'm not sure I would really ever do that in these full fields of evenly matched horses, but he's the horse to beat based on his overall body of work, which is sterling, especially again at Kentucky Downs. Bob and Jackie is the number 9. We'll watch his last race at Del Mar on August the 20th for Richard Baltus. Couldn't find the excuse in this race. He went right to the front. Check out those fractions. 24-3, 49-4, and he was just no match for the winner. He finished a solid second in this race. He has run some good races in the past. The Grade 2 City of Hope Mile was a triple-digit Beyer speed figure, and he is a multiple stakes winner. Bob and Jackie's speed gives him a little bit of an advantage in a race like this. It is his 3rd start of the form cycle. He does have the back races to contend. 6-1 on the morning line. Johnny Velazquez takes them out. Penalty is the 10 for trainer Bill Mott. This was just outrun. In the early stages of the poker last time out, it was a very, very fast pace. It went to deep closer Alexandra. Penalty was just outrun on the backstretch. He tried to get into it midway on the turn at about the 3/16 pole. He had a look, and he flattened out pretty badly. He was probably in a bit tough, and that pace scenario likely didn't work for him. I'm curious to see how he handles the Kentucky Downs turf course for trainer Bill Mott. I like him better at the 7-furlong, sort of one-turnish mile configuration. We'll see how he does here. Jose Ortiz takes them out. And again, I'm not sure if the race really sets up from him from a pace standpoint. Midnight Tea Times, the 11, is particularly my top picks in this race. That's where I'm going. Midnight Tea Time is a horse that has won at Kentucky Downs in the past. I'd like to see horses that have prior experience over this quirky course. Last time out, it was a decent enough 4th place finish at Indiana Grand. He was only beaten a length and a half. The race I'm going to concentrate on, though, was 3 starts back. That was the Grade 2 dinner party at Pimlico. Someone like it, Hot Brown, was able to get close to the pace that afternoon and sprinted on home. Midnight Tea Time tried to make a run. He was really picking up horses at the end of that race. Only beaten a length here into 94 Beyer speed figure. That was the last race he raced without Lasix. He will go without Lasix again. And he's the kind of horse I believe is somewhat adaptable to a pace situation. Louis Saez takes them out for Midnight Tea Time. They have won together in the past. And he's where I'm going to go. 8-1 on the morning line for Midnight Tea Time. My top pick in the 2nd division of the TVG Stakes at Kentucky Downs on Wednesday. I'm going 11-2, 8-9. Good luck.